Even if you hate your job, I think it says something when the garbage man tells you to see the beauty in everything. Wouldn't that be weird? You tell me. Because it just happened. I'm the garbage man. There is a lot of things in life that I'm working on changing right now. And at the same time, I take so much responsibility and accountability for where I am. And really, while I am on this journey of making changes in my life and being very intentional with everything I'm doing, I'm also owning the things I'm not doing, or I guess the process and the time it may take. You know, it's not going to be instantaneous. So I'm looking for a new job right now. And there's a lot of variables that come into play right now where I don't even know if I want to stay in this area. And, you know, priorities for me right now are financial security, financial stability, and then meeting someone. You know, those are the two big priorities in my life right now. And while I am looking for a new job and I am working on those next steps, I'm also being very conscious of where I am right now. So I am driving a trash truck, and it's as bad as you might imagine. It's incredibly labor intensive because it's not like a big truck that has an arm and lifts the thing for me. I'm jumping in and out of the truck at every single stop and lifting things overhead. And then I get receipts every day showing me how many thousands of pounds of things I've lifted up and thrown that day. And it takes a tremendous physical toll. It also takes a mental toll because it's not what I want to be doing with my time, obviously. However, what a tremendous push it's given me to prioritize the steps I need to get where I'm trying to go, but also, and this is the point of this video, regardless of your circumstances, I think if you cannot look at the beauty where you are right now in some capacity, and I don't mean force it, but I simply mean allow yourself to see it. If you can't see beauty around you in some capacity when you are in circumstances that are not ideal, I don't think you will be able to fully appreciate it or even receive it when your circumstances are better. And you might even end up in a place where you struggle so much to allow yourself to get to better circumstances, because even as things start moving in your direction, you know, and you start putting the pieces together and you start lining up what you're trying to do, you can't even see it. You're ignorant of it. You're oblivious. You know, I think, you know, I look at where I am right now, and there's so much I want to change. There's so much I am actively working on changing. I'm driving a trash truck, and there's a long story to explain how that came to be. And the short version is I started working for an entrepreneur, trying to help him grow his various businesses. And as things shifted and moved, I ended up taking on this role to help this particular business. And what started as more of an opportunity later, or rather quickly, became a burden. And it has only grown to be more of a burden. And it's tremendously taxing physically. You know, I will say, and I'm actually outside the gym right now. I got my final bits of pre-workout here. I drink a lot of water. I'm grateful though, right? We're getting to the beauty in things. I'm smiling right now. My last stop today, I grabbed I'm really refraining from swearing on this channel too much. I grabbed a plastic pot that you would have a plant hanging in, and I went to throw it in the truck, and it bounced off, and I got topsoil all down back of my neck. And that's aggravating, but I'm still smiling. I'm thankful that it's warmer weather, it's nicer weather today, and I just got through a brutal Vermont winter. And there was days when I went down on the ice hard, and I'm losing control of the truck. I'm sliding on hills and just so much bullshit that is not worth, the ROI is not there. And rather than get upset or lose my cool or blame someone else, I simply take stock of where I am, what's going on, and I really allow it to hit and say, hey, like, I need to make some changes. You know, I've given this person more than they are deserving of, truthfully, you know, and I am sorting out the next steps for me. But there were times, even in all of that, when I would stop and I would look at a stunning sunset, or the snow would pick up crazy for 30 seconds and the wind would pick up, and if I could grab my phone and catch it, wonderful, or if not, I would just be present in that moment and I would watch like some wild, you know, little flurries around me or something and try to just take it in. I would see the way icicles may form at a particular property and catch it at golden hour or something like that. And it may sound silly, or even little things like I would stop at someone's house and I open up their, you know, recycling toter, and all of the recycling is then placed in individual paper bags. And that might not mean anything to you, and that's fine. It shouldn't if you don't work in this industry, and I hope you don't. But what that means for me is I could pick those up individually and launch the bags and not have to sit here and worry, not have to feel like I'm playing Jenga in reverse, where I'm like trying to get these pieces to stack and trying to fit more and more into this truck, because I do everything I can to shorten my days. And beyond the job, you know, I would work and then I would come train and maybe have a really great conversation or run into somebody. And you know what? I'm about to go in there right now, and who knows who I'll run into. I know who I'd like to run into, but who knows who I'll run into. And I've completed a beautiful illustration recently that when I started it, I didn't know if I wanted it to be more of a comic style or realism, and I ended up going for realism. And I think it's some of the best work I've done ever, truthfully, which is wild. I've had some really incredible conversations lately with people. I was at Barnes & Noble a few days ago. I ran into a woman that attends the same figure drawing class that I often go to as an artist and occasionally as a model. And her and I just had a wonderful talk, you know, and she was like, it sounds like you were at a huge crossroads, because I'm looking for new work and I'm trying to figure out if I want to stay in this area, and there's a few other factors. And I said, yeah, I am, but I feel great. Like I'm overwhelmed, but at the same time, I'm incredibly optimistic, and I'm also being so practical and realistic with it. And that's why I'm optimistic. It's genuine, where I'm like, things are going to get better. Like, things are absolutely going to get better. But I just say, in all seasons and all circumstances, like, do your best to allow yourself to see the beauty in something. It could be something so small, but let it in. So, last little bit of pre-workout with a little bit of Himalayan sea salt. Pro tip. Cheers. Okay. I am too big for most vehicles, so this is how I have to finish it. And as I say, see the beauty and everything, I get a really good parking spot. All right, Taylor Swift, I'm